Hype Night. Welcome to Hype Night. Holy smokes. Hopefully you could hear me pretty good. We are so pumped that you guys are here. You've made it. You are at our fourth Hype Night ever, and you guys are in attendance. That's a very big deal. But before we go any further, who here participated in that 3-on-3 basketball tournament? All right, okay, there's a good chunk of us. Sweet. So I have some prizes to give away to the Clamp Gods. They are the ones who won, so I'm not sure where they are, but you guys can come on up here. I've got 3 prizes right over there. There you are. If you guys want to boo them, that'd be awesome. Yeah, boo. Yeah. Congratulations. You can each grab a bucket. Yeah. Good game. Those are the winners. They played my team in the championship team, and they cheated enough to get the dub. So congratulations to all 3 of you. If this is your very first time at Catalyst, we just want to say that we're glad you made it out to our monthly Hype Night. We do this every month, once a month. And the rest of the month looks a little bit different, kind of like what Pastor Lori was talking about. The next 2 weeks, everyone will be in this building. The next 2 weeks, everyone in this building. But it's going to be in smaller groups. So maybe that's a Bible study. Maybe it's a YouTube watch party. Maybe it's a DIY night that's coming up very soon. So those things, next 2 weeks, everyone is here. But then the 4th week of the month, the last Wednesday, we are all on YouTube. So you can watch at school, at Taco Bell, at home, at a track meet, wherever YouTube is, wherever your phone is, you can watch Catalyst and be a part of what's going on there. So tonight, I want to talk about a code, not like the Da Vinci Code or anything like that. I want to talk about guy code, and I want to talk about girl code a little bit. These are like those unspoken rules that we have as friends, and you guys know what I'm talking about. Things like you don't ask a guy what's up while peeing next to him. You don't do that. No, that's gross. It's weird. You stay away from things like that. You'd never, ever ditch your girl for a guy if you're a girl. You just don't do that. You don't ditch your friends. There's another one. If your friend sends you a crap chat, you don't screenshot that. That is not what you do. That would be a bad friend. That is guy and or girl code. And the last one I want to talk to you about, do whatever you possibly can to help a friend get that Instagram perfect picture. Who here has helped a friend, by the way? Yeah, okay, a good number of us. That is like friendship 101. These are friendship rules that you just learn as a kid. But when a friend breaks one of these unspoken rules, it can feel like loyalty is getting flushed straight down the toilet. It feels like they are no longer loyal, they're no longer your friend, and it's harsh. It's hard to deal with that stuff sometimes. So I want to tell you guys a story. I have a friend. He might listen to this later, so I'm going to tell you a different name. I'm going to say this guy's friend was Rudy. This was my friend's name. His name was Rudy. And he had this mad crush on this girl. Like, he told all of his friends, he goes, oh, man, me and this girl, we are going to date someday. We're going to get married someday. It's going to be off the chain, no doubt. Put it on your calendar. It's happening. And we're like, dude, you should talk with her first. You should hang out with her first. Like, he was all about her. Told all of his friends, right? All of his friends knew this. Well, one day, Rudy found out that his good friend, our good friend, Sam, was talking to this girl. Was talking to her, was flirting with her, was texting her, was hanging out with her. And Rudy was like, are you kidding me? Everyone knows I'm like in love with this girl. Everyone knows this girl is like my soulmate. So Rudy decided to puff up his chest a little bit. He grabbed his belt buckle probably, and he goes up to Sam. And Rudy goes, bro, why are you talking to my girl? You know I'm basically in love with her. You know this. And Sam just goes, bro, I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to show remorse. I'm not even going to back off. I like her. We like each other. We've been texting, and there's nothing really you can do about it. Well, Rudy was taken aback, but Sam was basically saying, sorry, not sorry, bro. sorry, not sorry. And we've all been in spots like this. Someone says something or does something that hurts us, right? That sometimes you hug it out, you talk it out. Everything is good in the world sometimes when there's beef. But then there's other times we bump into a sorry, not sorry moment. There are the times when someone hurts you and they just don't seem to care. And instead of hugging it out, instead of talking it out, you want to throw hands. You want to fight. You want to throw down. You just want to hurt them. And that's some grade A beef, right? And sometimes these beefs can turn into something a little bit more. They can turn into a grudge. And I'd be willing to bet that everyone in this room has had a grudge at one point or another. Maybe it was with a brother, a sister, a parent, a friend, a teacher, a coach, whoever. I'd be willing to bet that everyone in here has had a grudge at one point or another. And sometimes grudges can feel like just a part of everyday life. They feel like they could just creep up everywhere. Like that friend that ruined the future potential of your crush, and now she's sorry, not sorry. He was fair game. Or he ruined your reputation, but he's sorry, not sorry. It was just hashtag real talk anyways. Or she ruined your clothes, but she's sorry, not sorry. They weren't that cute anyways, right? We've all been in situations like this where we have found ourselves wanting to hang on to a grudge. So you have a sorry, not sorry moment happen to you. How do you know it's a grudge? It's important to ask yourself a few questions. The first question you want to ask yourself is, do you have arguments with someone in your head? You know those conversations in your head where you pan it out and you go, I'm going to go out to him. I'm going to tell him how it is. I'm going to lay it all out. He's going to say sorry. He's going to say, you know, you were right all along. When you have those conversations in your head, you probably got a grudge. The second way to know that you have a grudge is, are you giving a close friend or a family member the silent treatment? Who here's ever given someone the silent treatment? Yeah, all right, I'll be honest, I've given other people silent treatment before. That is a surefire way to know you are holding a grudge. Or do you leave passive-aggressive comments on someone's Instagram? Or screenshot a text and send it to your other friends and go, can you believe this guy? What a clown. And talk just a bunch of trash about them. That's a good way to know as well. And the final way is, do you think about ways that you can pay someone back for what they did to you a week ago or 6 months ago or a year ago? If you answered yes to any of those questions, you officially have a grudge. But I want you to chew on this for a second. I want everyone to pay attention to this because this is really important. The more you hold on to a grudge, the more it holds you. You can be technically right. You can have the truth on your side, but it doesn't change the fact that now you're stuck in negativity. And that negativity can take a toll on you. And here's kind of what I mean. About 2,000 years ago, this was a really, really long time ago, the church was getting started, and one of the main leaders of the early church was this guy named Paul, which seems like a really sweet name. And at the time, Paul was like a living legend, a total rock star amongst church people and amongst Jesus followers. He wasn't just famous, though, with people who follow Jesus. He was also famous to those who were not fans of Jesus. He was actually kind of like a target. He suffered publicly for being a follower of Jesus. And we see this a couple of times. We see that he was put into prison multiple times, not just once. He was beaten up, he was flogged, he was stoned. This is the type of fame that you don't want. So here's this guy. He's trying to help people. He's trying to do the right thing. He's trying to serve God. And how's he treated? Not great. He's getting beat up. He's getting thrown into jail. And because of all these awful things that happened to him, it felt like Paul almost deserved to hold a grudge. But still, in the midst of all this craziness, in the midst of all of this, Paul writes to us in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 15. He says this, "Make sure that nobody pays back wrong for wrong, but always strive to do what is good for each other and for everybody else." And whenever I read this, I always think the same thing. Are you crazy, Paul? Are you literally out of your mind? There are people who are trying to kill you by throwing rocks at you, by beating you up, by flogging you. If anyone threatened to do those things to me, I would cry, run away, and never talk to these people again. Like, don't throw rocks at me. That would just be like common sense for me. But Paul is saying, I know what other people have done, but don't repeat wrong for wrong. Don't pay back wrong for wrong, but strive to do what is good for each other and for everybody else. And I go, why? Why are you telling me this, Paul? And it's because Paul understood something about grudges. He understood that the more you hold on to a grudge, the more it holds you. It's like one of these finger traps. Has anyone ever seen one of these before? These like Chinese finger traps? Yeah, so like the more you like fight to get out of it, the angrier you are, the more frustrated you get, the more you hang on to that grudge, you just can't seem to let it go. You just can't seem to get out of that cycle of negativity. Now, I understand that some of you have been really hurt by friends or by people that you care about, and that can make things super complicated. But I promise you, the only way you can find freedom from anger, from frustration, from bitterness is to forgive the other person, is to let it go, even if they don't deserve it. So there are 3 ways to get rid of a grudge. The first way to get rid of a grudge is to give up, which sounds like really bad advice, but hear me out. Give up the grudge. When you start to give up the fight, you can begin to give up the grudge. The second thing that you can do to get rid of a grudge is to let go. Let go of the hurt feelings, the frustration, the anger. This removes the offense. And then the third thing that you can do is repeat. Give up, let go, and repeat. There's no overnight cure to grudges, but when we decide to intentionally give up, to purposefully let go, it helps us move forward. Grudges can be really tough to give up and to let go, but it gets easier when we have someone in our corner. And if there's one thing I know to be true, is that life gets better with Jesus. And because with Jesus, there's someone who loves us when we're unlovable, someone who cares about us when we feel alone, and someone who literally died for us. God could have held a grudge. We sinned against him, so he could have just cut us out. But instead of doing that, he sent his one and only son to die for us. So maybe you're here today and you've never thought about it quite that way. Maybe you've never thought about Jesus coming to earth to have a relationship with us. I'd like everyone in here to bow their head and close their eyes. And if that's you, if you never realized that before, you didn't fully put those things together, sin is the reason we're separated from God. But the good news is that we don't have to stay separated. So maybe you're here, you don't have a relationship with God, but you'd like one. With every head bowed, every eyes closed, would you slip up your hand if you'd like to have that relationship? I would love to pray with you. Thank you. I see a couple of hands. Thanks. Everyone's head is bowed, everyone's eyes closed. This is a moment between you and God. So cool. All right, you can put your hands down, but everyone stay with their heads bowed and their eyes closed. Would everyone in this room repeat this prayer after me? Say, Heavenly Father, I'm a sinner and I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Come into my life. Change me. Be my Lord and Savior. In your name I pray. Amen.